Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3-0 Take, where we talk all things Major League Baseball. Here's Kyle Corwin and Nate Reyes. It all starts right now.
Welcome back to the 3-0 Take, presented by Big League Chew. This is episode 325. I'll be your host, Kyle Corwin, and I'm here with my co-host, Nate Reyes. Nate.
Good day, good people. What is up, my man? How we doing?
Doing well. A couple days out from Thanksgiving. Getting ready, mentally preparing myself for quite the feast.
Are you warming up your stomach capacity? Starting to build up a little bit?
Yeah, and while we're on the topic, let me just go ahead and say this. People that want to knock me and others for celebrating Christmas prematurely, as some would say, because I'm like November 1st, I'm there. I'm ready to go.
Right.
People say, well, it's not even Thanksgiving. I heard somebody say, I don't even remember who it was, but I heard somebody say recently, they were saying if Thanksgiving food, I think I saw it on TikTok. They were saying if Thanksgiving food is so good, why do we only request it once a year?
Yeah.
Like, you don't see people asking at the 4th of July celebration, where's the stuffing?
Right.
It's overrated.
Stuffing's definitely the one that's just like, it's a little odd. I'm one of the people that like stuffing. I think you can have bad stuffing and you can have good stuffing. I'm a pro stuffing guy, but that's a great question. But like for my family, mac and cheese is always involved. And that is something that's just, obviously, it's year round. Mashed potatoes, pretty much a year round thing. I honestly, I think turkey's kind of trash. I think the meat selection of Thanksgiving is just, it's trash. Like, I think the sides are what make that meal what it is.
For sure. But, I mean, even then, I don't know if that's enough to redeem the holiday as a whole. So, all in all, I think Thanksgiving's a little overrated. Hence, the early celebration of Christmas. So, don't try to tell me, like, we still have Thanksgiving to go. No. No.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is just like a day to be fat. Christmas, you're not really that fat. You know what I mean? You don't go in that. Do you go hard on, like, Christmas Day dinner with the fam?
Not anything outside of just a normal meal, like some Christmas hams, some green beans, some mashed potatoes. That's about it.
Yeah, just like, no big deal. You could have that on like a Sunday dinner with the fam. That's a normal thing. What are you doing this year for Thanksgiving? Are you making anything?
I'm not making a thing.
You're not in charge of anything.
I don't think I've ever made anything for any holiday. I'm the last person you want in the kitchen on a major holiday. No, we're going up to Pennsylvania, seeing my mom's side of the family. Going to go up there for a couple of days and make our way back.
What's your routine? I mean, are you watching football? Is the family going to have the Lions game on?
Football will be on. We usually have a little football game with the younger kids up there before dinner. Go in, enjoy some good grub.
Throwing stiff arms.
Hit
sticks over little kids.
Of course.
Good. That's what you need.
Making them regret they even agreed.
You got to build up an appetite, and you got to.
Yeah, like I'm looking out for myself here. Like if me burning calories results in somebody getting knocked unconscious, I'm sorry, but I got to get ready for the meal. But that's what I'm doing.
Don't step in between these lines unless you're ready.
That's what I got. What do you got?
Going to Denver, hang out with the Madre. Dude, we're like a super lazy, comfy type fam when it comes to holidays, like sweats, like brushing your teeth at 10:30 in the morning kind of thing.
Who do you have to impress?
It's one of those days. Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
Yeah, you just roll out of bed. Yeah, that's all it is. But for some reason, Rob, my stepdad, he's just a very particular guy. He doesn't want turkey, but we're still going to have a turkey. So he's getting a prime, like a prime roast And then I think my mom's also making like a chicken. I don't know. And then mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, all the stuff.
You got your bases covered. That's all you need.
I'm like, I don't know, dude. Eat this for a week. But I'm the person where like I don't want the leftovers. Once Thanksgiving is done, I'm like, I'm over it.
No,
I don't
I'm
need
all
to eat this
about-
again for 3 straight days.
No, I'm all about the Thanksgiving. Like it's an overrated holiday. I will say that. And the food, like I said, you only request it once a year, but I'm gonna have those leftovers. You can count on that. I'm gonna carry that through the weekend. You got to carry it through the weekend. Yeah, because it's Thursday, and then you more times. I mean, depending upon the ordeal, depending upon the meal itself, you've got leftovers there for a couple to a few days.
Are you the turkey sandwich route, or are you just straight up making the whole plate again?
I've explored that route, but I think I'm more of just a turkey and gravy kind of guy.
You make that sandwich. Let me tell you, like the one that in Friends. Or like Ross, like, or his coworker eats his sandwich. He's got like the moist maker.
It's a game changer.
Of bread soaked in gravy.
It mixes it up a little bit. Like if you get tired of leftovers, it mixes it up.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. The mac and cheese though, that'll definitely be hitting.
Every day, all day.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about first here? We got some awards to talk about. We got some Twins unis. We got some other miscellaneous items to discuss.
Let's get these unis out of the way.
You want to talk unis? Let's talk unis.
First off,
Minnesota
the logo
Twins.
change. Putting air quotes around that for people who can't see the logo change. I saw this poster. It was like the side by side. The old one versus the new one, which it looks like they just slightly altered the C and like changed the blue and red a little bit. But I saw this post, it was like side by side, and it was like corporate needs you to find the differences between these two pictures.
It's the same picture.
Yeah.
No, like I mean, I don't know if I'm going to call myself a graphic designer because I've seen what real graphic designers can do, and I don't know. I'm not going to put myself on their level, but as a pseudo graphic designer, I can appreciate the difference. Like other people may not look at that. I mean, they may look at that and go like, why even bother? But changing the tint a little bit, brightening up that red, making it a little more vibrant. I can appreciate that. I can.
I guess.
Like I said, most people would look at that and be like, why even waste your time? But I can understand it. The unis themselves.
Pull them back up.
I will say, I saw a lot of hate about minimalism. People saying, well, minimalism is just the worst. I completely disagree. You can never have enough minimalism. I'm all about it. When you start getting noisy and loud and just being all sorts of extra, that's when I write it off. I'm like, you're trying to do too much. But these Twins whites, like the
whites
standard
are
homes, I mean they have those Twin Cities that we'll get to, but like the standard white homes, those are clean.
Yeah. Yeah. Big fan of those.
I can do without the text outline. I'm a big fan of that move that they did where they got rid of that altogether. Big fan.
Yeah. The Marlins M is throwing me off a little bit on the hats.
All right, so admittedly,
It's very Marlins of them.
I thought this was something new, but apparently this is they're digging into the archives a little bit. I mean, I'm not a Twins historian here, but
is anyone?
I saw somebody, again, this is only what I read. This person may not know what they're talking about, but I saw something where they said bring the M back. And I don't know if I've ever seen such a logo. I mean, I know they have the M from before the TC, like, the old M where it was the pinstripes and they had that, like, you know what I'm talking about? It was a lowercase M.
Yeah. Like the like Kirby Puckett days.
Yeah.
And like
exactly.
Mo Vaughn days. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So they had that, but I haven't seen any variation of this current M or this new M, I should say.
I haven't seen it either, but it looks like from a distance, obviously not thinking about that little star at the top. It looks like a Marlins M.
It really does. Yeah. I will agree with you on that.
And it looks like they did away with any reference to that, like, I don't know what those things are in center field that they have, like those giant 2 cartoon looking boys, men.
Oh, the
whatever those things are.
Yeah, like the
What are those?
I know exactly. They're like shaking hands.
Yeah, like old men, like old cartoon men, right?
Yeah, Minnesota St. Paul, those guys. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like there's no kind of reference to them at anywhere on these. Which is interesting. I personally like the is the Twin Cities one the far right? Is that the City Connect?
No, I don't think they released the I would think the City Connect would be its own reveal. I don't think they'd lump it in with this. I think this is just a new line they came out with.
I like that one.
Yeah, that one's all right. It gives me Royals vibes.
Like
I don't know if you see that, but it just gives me Royals vibes. I don't know why. That's script, I guess. The pinstripes are solid. I know I saw some hate on the pinstripes. I don't know why you'd hate on pinstripes, especially if it's a road uni. Like, spice up the road uni a little bit. Why not?
I like that they're like kind of a faded pinstripe too. You know, they're like a subtle pinstripe.
Yeah, they're not terribly strong, which is nice. And then the home alternate navy, I'm like, okay, kind of indifferent. But the home white, that's the one for me. That's the one that does it for me.
So I'm thinking of like when I create a uni for like my Diamond Dynasty team in MLB The Show. Are teams just like opposed to colored buttons to like offset the color throughout the jersey? You know what I'm saying? Like if you go to the far right one with the all white that Joe Ryan's wearing, like what if you went blue buttons there? Is that not a look?
I mean, I feel like I'm going.
I kind of like that. Like the pinstripes ones.
I feel like
red buttons,
clear buttons.
Red buttons there. It's just one of these jerseys. I feel like if you had some colored buttons.
Again, you're talking to a minimalist here, so anything that takes away from the subject at hand, aka the word mark or the logo, I'm out. All in all, though, what would you give this set?
I'll give it a set overall, just grading overall.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid B.
Oh, we're going grade.
I'll go letter grade. I'm gonna give it a B.
A
strong B. We're talking like an
84.5.
No, I think you could get up to like 85. What's the highest B?
86.
Let's see.
86.
B plus would have been 87. So you're talking 86.4. I'm giving it an 86.4. 86.49. Repeating.
I'll give it a C plus.
All right, so I mean we're not terribly far.
Just because it didn't I don't know. It's just there was so much hype around it. Like, why did I get an alert for this 2 days before it came out? And you guys really didn't change that much. You know what I mean?
I mean, they changed stuff, but they also kind of tapped in a little bit to their uni roots.
There are ways have been the gray, because the gray pinstripe is like Torrey Hunter throwback, which I like.
Yeah, the grays they had been wearing, I can picture Jake Cave in them. It was just the standard gray.
No pinstripe.
No pinstripes with the script Minnesota across the front.
I'll go B minus. C plus is a little dramatic.
B minus, that's fair.
B minus.
That's fair.
Plus Joe Ryan with if he's rocking that all white one, plus the mock turtleneck,
which they will be in Minnesota.
He will be rocking that. I'm a fan. I like that.
All right. There you have it. Twins uniforms in the books. Let's talk awards. Off the top, were there any snubs in your opinion?
We're going all awards here, right?
Yeah, we
haven't covered anything, right?
We hadn't talked about anything. Last week's episode was strictly free agency.
Well, I think the Cy Youngs and the MVPs were just kind of a lock, right? I feel like that was just it. Everyone agreed on that for the most part.
The Vegas odds the day of those award announcements, it wasn't even close. It's like, okay, well, I can just go ahead and make this graphic now ahead of time, so it's ready to go as soon as it's announced, because there's not going to be any surprises with this.
Yeah.
I'm just glad the writers didn't pull any funny business with Judge and Ohtani. That was the only thing I was kind of on the fence about, whether or not they were going to try to pull something, but I'm glad to see.
That was a bit of a landslide. That was a bigger gap than I thought it was going to be. What was it, like 20-something to 2? I don't know how many votes there are. First place votes, it was like 25 to 2.
28 to 2, yeah.
That's solid. Yeah, I was a little nervous about that too. But, I mean, I honestly, the Gold Gloves, like I'm pretty much done.
I'm out on Gold Gloves. Yeah. I am out.
I couldn't be more done with that.
It was Soto, right? There was a finalist in right.
Yeah, and it was just awful this year. Right, like
what are we doing?
I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, that's all I needed to see. Like
I feel like the Gold Glove is the only thing that's the most opinionated. It's like less factual based award than anything else.
I mean, you could make the argument for MVP too, because it, in a different way, I guess you could say, because it comes back to what is your definition of the V? Like what do you assign? It's a little more subjective. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially now that we have a two-way player that's going to be in the mix forever. It's going to constantly question that description or definition, I should say. But I don't know. I mean, everything else looked pretty good to me, right?
Yeah, a lot of people, I was realizing, which I'm not surprised, but a lot of people in the Facebook comments following the Rookie of the Year announcement, not understanding that this is not a postseason award, because there's a lot of people clamoring for Jeremy Pena.
Yeah.
Saying, well, one of these guys led their team to a World Series title, and one of them didn't. And the one that didn't got the award. And I said, well, it's not how this works.
Yeah. And any fan that's commenting that didn't know Jeremy Pena's name until the postseason came around. So chill.
That is the truth. Manager of the Year awards, I feel like the ones we've talked about were more so locks, but I feel like there was some healthy debate surrounding AL and NL. I don't like that Philly Rob wasn't even a finalist. Throw the postseason out the window. I understand it's not a postseason thing, but like his resume didn't warrant even being a finalist. I don't get that.
I don't get that either, and I feel like the interim coach thing is like even harder. I think that's more challenging to succeed and get your team in that kind of position. I think that was harder than, someone who has a secure job, like a secure contract. Who even won AL?
Terry Francona.
He missed a lot of time this year, didn't he? Didn't he miss like the first couple months? It was like a couple months where he was gone. Or was that last year?
My time's running together. Was it last year? It was last year. It was the end of last year, because it was who did they fill his spot with? It's right there, dude. Who?
Alomar?
Was it out? I thought that was the name that was coming to mind. It was Alomar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was last year. I'm okay with the American League side of things. I really am. The National League, look, Mets bias aside, how do you give it to a guy that blows a 10.5 game lead with that roster.
I know. I had multiple Braves fans messaging me immediately after. I was like, how does it not go to the guy that chased this guy down in the standings? I don't know.
I'll never understand the thought process that goes into these.
I think
awards.
you're right. The manager of the year award is definitely opinionated. That one's a little stranger because this one, I feel like this one specifically goes to the managers that are like good with media. You know what I'm saying? They're good about answering questions. They're good about giving, the writers and the reporters the time that they need. I feel like that's where the award goes to.
So Buck, the breakdown, Buck finished with 8 first place votes, 10 second place votes, and 7 third place votes for a total of 77 points. Dave Roberts finished second. 8 first place votes, 4 second place votes, 5 third place votes for a total of 57 points. So 20 points behind Buck. Snicker was third. I would have swapped those two.
Agreed.
Ollie Marmol was fourth. Rob Thompson was fifth. I would have swapped those two.
Agreed.
And I would even put Thompson above Dave Roberts. So Dave Roberts is on the outside of the finalist panel looking in.
Agreed. I would have gone probably Thompson or Snit first. I think Buck third. I guess. I don't even know if Buck would be top 3. Maybe Marmol above Buck. First year manager?
Yeah, this is Buck's, 4th manager of the year in 4 separate decades?
So I'm saying, I think he's just like, he's the guy that's just nice to, he's like the opposite end of the spectrum of Buck, or of Bill Belichick. You know what I mean? Like, he's not standoffish. He's funny. He's kind of charming with the reporters in like a grumpy old man kind of way.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll give you the credit about saying that Buck Showalter would be the difference maker. And although I feel
he's a heck of a manager, don't get me wrong.
I came out on top with my pick regarding the Mets this year. To your credit, he at least got them in.
Yeah.
And although their roster construction was certainly one to behold, he did what he had to do to get them to the dance.
He locked them back in. I think he locked them back in mentally as well. Like, that clubhouse did have a goal in mind. Just came down to a little bit of a choke city, but I think for the most part, all the antics were pretty much out the window.
Right. So I don't want it to sound like I'm taking anything away from what he did collectively over the course of a full season.
Yeah. But you can't give up that division lead and still win.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like, that has to play a factor. If we're not including postseason results in this, yeah, you at least have to look or put some weight into how the season finishes.
Yeah,
because that to me, that part of the season holds
more weight,
just as much, if not more weight, than the other part of the year that you're evaluating.
When are the votes done? When are they done voting? I've always thought the votes were in before the postseason, right?
I would think so.
But they're not like before the season ends, right? They're not coming in on like September 1st. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Do you know the AL finalists finish?
The breakdown for the AL: Terry Francona, 17 first place, 9 second. Brandon Hyde, 9 first place votes, 9 second, 7 third place votes.
I like that.
Scott Servais, Dusty Baker, Aaron Boone, Kevin Cash. I don't know how Aaron Boone even gets this.
Me neither.
Singular. I mean, he didn't get a first place vote, fortunately, but how he even gets a vote at all.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out why Dusty wasn't a little higher. I don't get that.
I don't get it either, but I can also understand how it would be tough to slot him in with any of those other 3 spots.
Why is he below Scott Cervais?
Well, I just think you look at what the Mariners did this year. Again, take postseason out of the equation.
I guess.
They got in. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
look,
it's just like-
I get it. I get it. You have to be as objective as you or subjective as you can with objective as you can with these things. I get that. But some story, like you have to have a little bit of feel for some of the storylines as a voter. I'm not saying that should carry all the weight. I'm not. But like you have to look at what the Mariners did, look at the drought and say, here's a guy who took a team to the postseason, something that hadn't been done in 20-something years. Like that has to play into it a little bit. Like he obviously did something.
With that ideology, why is he below Brandon Hyde? Brandon Hyde is a good story. The Orioles are a good story.
Yeah.
But kind of didn't get it done.
I think, and there's probably people yelling through their phones right now, going, "Well, how can you say what you said about Buck Showalter and not say the same thing about Brandon Hyde?" The Mets and the Orioles are two completely different teams. The expectation going into this year are two completely different things.
It's hard to mess up. It's hard to mess up with that roster.
Yeah.
You know what
so
I mean?
To compare, I can't even really call the Orioles a collapse because they weren't supposed to be there in the first place.
Expected, yeah.
So that's why I would give that a little more of a thumbs up than the final result for the Mets.
I don't know.
I mean, does that make sense, or do you feel differently?
I guess. I feel like this awards just go to the. I don't know. I think there should be less opinion attached. It's the way it's just like Silver Slugger goes to the highest batting average or whatever, or slugging, and then the same thing for manager. Like it should just be wins, shouldn't it?
No. I think the manager of the year has to differ a little bit from the player oriented awards because you can look at a performance. You can take the names off the list and say, okay, just look at these numbers and tell me who you think deserves this Silver Slugger award. And it's it comes down to somewhat of a pretty easy decision. But with the manager of the year, you can't do that because if you take the names off and you say, well, just look at these wins and tell me who deserves the manager of the year, or look how these teams finished. Did this guy blew a 10.5 game lead? Do you think he deserves manager of the year?
I think there's numbers that have to be considered. Like I think you got to look at like 1-run ball games. Like what's the record in one-run ball games?
I would agree with that. Yeah.
What's your record against teams above 500? Right, like those types of things. I think have to be
comeback wins has to be huge.
Yeah, I think maybe like late inning losses. Like 7, 8, 9 inning losses, right? Just like you're pressing the right buttons with who you're taking out of the bullpen or leaving your starter in.
Management, late inning management for sure.
Yeah, I think some of those things have to be considered, and I wonder if they are. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I would look at that if it was me. You know, those are the things where it's if you're not going to have some type of stat, and if this is opinionated in certain ways, it's like, well, let's look at some of the clutch moments where you know it's a managerial decision that got this dub or got this loss.
Yeah. Manager years are tough for me. They are. And so I can at least give some grace there to the voters because that's a tougher decision in my mind than something like an MVP or a Rookie of the Year or something like that because you can take, like I said, you can take the names off the list and it becomes much easier. Yeah. But with manager of the year, there's a lot more that goes into play there.
Am I losing my mind? Who is the NL Rookie of the Year?
Where did the Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, who was it? I forgot.
Michael Harris. Oh no, we did. You're right. We didn't talk about Michael Harris.
Yeah, we got Julio some love. But,
yeah, we got Julio.
Well, kinda.
Yeah, Michael Harris II. I thought it was hilarious when they were going through the announcement, and it was it's David Justice. They have him. Mike Amsinger flips it to him, and he does this like build up.
Craig.
Huh?
Greg Amsinger?
What did I say?
Mike
Amsinger. Why did I? That's okay. Why? I cannot remember Greg's name to save. Like it's unbelievable. I don't understand.
It's weird that you remember Amsinger, but you don't remember
I don't remember
Greg.
his first. Well, Amsinger's easier to remember than. I'm sorry, Greg.
Yeah,
that's on me. That's our guy. He flips it to David Justice, and he at this point you know who it's going to be. So you're like, okay, well, let's see kind of like what he's going to say about Michael Harris, and he does this big dramatic build up, like yada yada yada, the Braves culture, yada yada yada, all this and that. He goes, and we're gonna give the award to Michael Harris III, and then everybody's kind of just like, all right, well, that's not his name. It wasn't a big deal. I just thought it was funny because I'm like, you just got done giving me this long spiel about Braves culture and stars, and you don't even get the guy's name right. And I get it. I just mispronounced Greg Amsinger's name wrong. But, like, it's different, though, because that's David's organization.
Here's the thing. I still don't know. I feel like we talked about this. I still don't know why it's second versus junior. But this is a fairly new thing, right? The second. It's new.
No, I mean, this goes back to this goes back to like England, dude. Like, we're talking about like Prince Charles the fifth, or I don't know. I don't know.
They didn't drop juniors, huh? They weren't. They weren't. They were
all
junior.
numbers. They were all numbers.
Why are we recycling this? I thought we moved on. I thought the second was junior. You only bring in the numbers when you get it to the third.
It has to be the same name for it to be numerical.
Yes.
What comes after junior though?
Junior's the third. Like it goes junior and then the third.
So, well, yeah. I mean, I guess it's just a preference thing. Like, do you want the second or do you want junior? Not a big deal.
I want junior. Ken Griffey the second. Stupid. That sounds stupid. I don't like it.
Michael Harris Jr. Yeah,
that sounds clean.
I think I'm a junior. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
That's
so.
That's
I think it goes junior and then the third. I think that's the rule here. But either way, dude's a stud. Dude, it is a freak. Like he's gonna be really good. He's gonna be really, really good to the point where I could see how it depends on how Acuna comes back from this knee, and like if he gets back to normal form, I could see the Braves shopping him. I could see it towards the middle of this end of this contract.
Yeah. I mean, he was a homer shy of a 2020 year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they locked him down for what, like a Big Mac?
Mm-hmm.
8 years in a Big Mac.
Small fry next to it.
For the culture, right? Yeah. So bright future for him. Now, I will say, I'm not going to change my mind on what I said about when it comes to like the trade deadline, and we're talking about like, do you go out and get this guy or do you hang on to your prospects? And I say, no, you hang on to and you go after what you know. That's just always been my belief. I'm not a front office executive here, but that's just my belief.
Timetable, Mo.
Also depends on timetable, but you look
Michael
at a guy
Harris
Michael
is clearly ready to go,
and
he's
did
big league ready.
Like,
yeah,
we've seen it now. But if you would have told me this before the year, I'd have been like, let's slow the roll a little bit. But we've seen it now. We've seen a glimpse into what he's capable of doing, and I'm sure that it's only gonna get better as time goes on.
Yeah, he's gonna be good.
So that's my thought on Michael Harris Jr. I'm just going to start calling him Michael Harris Jr. It'll catch on.
Yeah, we'll start it. It'll all good.
Catch on. Just thank us now. We mentioned the Cy Youngs. Nothing really to talk about there. I mean, I think locking down this Cy Young for Verlander, as we maybe mentioned last episode, it only furthers his cause for this contract that he's seeking. He's not your typical 40-year-old. He's gonna get what he's asking for. I truly believe that, and I think this, like I said, this Cy Young only helps.
And the argument of like the new elbow, you know what I mean? Like this elbow surgery, it almost seems like they're treating it as if he has a brand new elbow. You know what I mean? It's like putting a new engine in an old car. Like I think he's gonna be okay, and I can't see why he won't pitch until he's 44, 45 years old. Ace caliber. I mean, I don't know, and I think. I don't know if these postseason woes were more of the postseason monkey on his back or if it's more of like the got a little tired. I don't know. But yeah, he's going to get his bag. He's going to get his bag. I'm done with seeing him in the Astros uni. I'm ready to see him. I want to root for him. So like go somewhere else, please, because I can't root for you there.
Where did you say you had him going?
I said Texas. Yeah, such a long shot. Such a crazy long shot. I did see a report today that somebody was inquiring about him. I don't remember who. Dodgers?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Who was that?
I don't know. Who won the comeback player of the year? Because I had him winning both. I don't know if you remember that. My preseason
it was the
pick,
Mets, by the way. Sorry.
My preseason pick was Verlander with Cy Young, Verlander with comeback player of the year.
Verlander was your Cy Young?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe you.
I think I still have it.
I've got it here somewhere. Hold on. Where is it? 2022 picks. You did. Well done.
Yeah.
I would have completely forgot about that had you not mentioned it.
My player of the year, I remember saying, or my comeback player of the year, I remember saying Gleyber Torres, but I was like, well, if Verlander wins the Cy Young and it's pretty much a lock. He's going to get comeback player of the year too. But I don't know who won that. Did they come out with that?
I don't know if they come out with that. I haven't heard any mention of that yet.
It's weird to release that after.
Yeah. Look at you, man. Good for you.
Hey, I got one right finally.
Hey, a win's a win. A win is a win. Sandy Alcantara, an absolute horse. I mean, we were talking about earlier this season.
Verlander got both comeback player of the year.
Oh, they already announced it?
I think. Houston Astros ace Justin Verlander was voted AL Outstanding Pitcher and Comeback Player of the Year for 2022. At 39 years old, he bounced back from missing 2 seasons following Tommy John in 2020.
I don't remember hearing anything about that, so that's news to me. Sandy Alcantara, there was a point down the stretch this season where we were talking about having his name in the MVP conversation, and I still stand behind that. Just so we're clear.
I do too.
I think you were the one that actually said that.
Yeah. Acuna got comeback player of the year. I know. Weird. Whatever. Yeah. I mean, it's just like Sandy was, doing just classic ace stuff. I think I'm not looking at numbers right now, but I think he blew every other pitcher out of the water in innings, didn't he?
Yeah, led the majors at 228 2/3, 6 complete games. Which, by the way, those 6 complete games, more than any other team in baseball.
Come on, man. And what was that stretch where he went like 7 straight starts or something like that, going 7 or longer? Yeah. Something crazy like that. Like, yeah, that's stud stuff, dude. That's good. That's really, really good. I stand by my argument. I mean, if you could total up a number where you're overshadowing teams for those numbers, that's big. And I do love me a shutout. I do love me a CG. Those are fun.
Sandy finished, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Finished 10th in MVP voting.
Stupid.
Behind Francisco Lindor.
Get out of here, dude.
Pete Alonso.
Get out of
JT
here.
Real Muto.
No.
No. Ahead of every one of those guys.
Yeah.
Austin Riley, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Nolan Arenado, Manny Machado, Paul Goldschmidt. I get all
Understood.
that. But Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, JT Realmuto, come on.
No.
Come on. Come on.
Sandy. Good year.
Great year.
Yeah.
Tip of the cap to the award winners, man. I mean, that was the cream really rose to the top there. There's not, like I said, there's not a guy on here. I mean, I have some takes about some of these awards that we talked about, like the selections that won, but I'm not mad at any of these really.
Nope.
Minus maybe Buck, but that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah. Or today, the one we had.
Or today, the one we had, yes.
Yeah.
That conversation would suffice.
Yeah.
But if you want to continue that conversation and break it down from additional standpoints, we can do that.
Not
and
again today.
That conversation can be held a different day.
Yeah. Not again.
Today suffice? Do you think today would suffice?
I think today's enough for now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
For the time being. If you change your mind, just let me know.
Until more evidence presents itself.
We will be on standby.
We need to get a writer on here. Because I want to ask those questions. Somebody that has the Hall of Fame vote, somebody that's like deep into this stuff. If we can try and get an interview with one of those guys, I want to ask those questions about like, what are those specific things that you consider when it comes to some of those votes that are a little bit more opinionated. And I need to know if the media bias is in there. Or if it's not in there for that guy, at least tell me that it's involved with some of the other voters.
What was that thing? Hold on. I need to find that text I sent you. It was about it was Rookie of the Year. And they were it was like a little montage. Here it is. It was before the Rookie of the Year award was announced. And they put like together a little montage of the writers giving their thoughts on like what goes into their vote and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who it was because it was so quick, but I texted you and I said, they just asked one of the BBWAA writers what they look for in a Rookie of the Year. And he said, quote, I look at it like a 1-year thing. I just look at their performance. Like, so you look at the Rookie of the Year's rookie season.
Crazy.
That's incredible.
Stupid answer, dude.
Tip
That's
of the
what I'm
cap.
telling you. There's other stuff in there, and I need to know. I just need confirmation. I don't need names. I just need someone on the inside confirming my theory. We'll work on it. Let's try and get a writer on here, though. That'd be sick.
I look at it like a 1-year thing. I just look at their performance.
Stupid ass answer. Who was that?
That's what I said. I don't remember. It was so quick, but I heard that and I was like, that's all I needed to hear.
And you're off the panel.
Everything we've ever said about these writers was true in that very moment, without a doubt. Some miscellaneous news here. Teoscar Hernandez making his way to the Seattle Mariners.
A little confused if I'm a Blue Jays fan.
Yeah. I didn't realize how many. I saw a tweet, and I don't even remember what it was at this point. I should have written it down. Or, taken a screenshot, one of the two. But it said over the last 3 years, I think it was, that he has either like the most home runs in baseball or top like 3 or something. And really? I would have never have guessed that.
I don't get it, dude. And like, I obviously as a Yankees fan, I watched a lot of games with the Blue Jays, and like he is really good. I don't think he gets talked about enough. So I'm a little confused as like what their thought process is the only thing I can think of is that now with him gone, because like Gurriel was hurt a lot last year, so I'm struggling to see how they value him. But I think to keep George Springer a little bit healthier, I could see them sliding him to right, and I could see them going after Brandon Nimmo.
Yeah, I did read that was a possibility.
I mean, they do need some lefty bats in that lineup. But yeah, I could see that a little bit. But like Conforto's name's been tossed around, but like I don't know if he's a full-time center fielder. I could see Nimmo there. Unless they traded for Tapia a few years ago, and I don't know how they feel about him. Maybe he's just roaming around center field moving forward. I don't know. But good for the Mariners. You gave up.
Wait, sorry. What'd you say about Tapia?
They traded for Tapia, right? So he's just going to be roaming around.
No, no. Am I going crazy? I'm pretty sure.
Did they ship him out?
Stand by. Pretty sure. Yeah, Blue Jays designated.
When?
They DFA about a week ago.
Oh.
A little less than a week ago.
Yeah, that's fair.
DFA'd him 5 days ago.
JB Jerry's not there anymore, right? Or are they still? I don't know. I feel like he played for 4 different teams last year, so yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, he might not be.
Yeah. I just don't think the return was enough to warrant that move for the Blue Jays. I mean, but like great job on the Mariners end, like some back end bullpen depth, like to go get a guy that is going to go in the middle of your lineup that's going to be really good. They got a lot of right-handed pop now. Julio, yeah. Ty France, Suarez, now Teoscar. I mean, yikes.
I mean, they're setting themselves up to be a better version of themselves in 2023. Yeah. Like it's abundantly clear.
They're going to be good. They're going to be good again.
I think there's going to be less questions surrounding Seattle. There's going to be fewer questions surrounding the Mariners entering 2023 than there were this year, because I really think that they got a taste of what this year was like, and I think they want more. So I think starting with this, they're already heading that direction.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I am kind of with you. And then, I mean,
Angels.
does this like basically end the experiment with Kelnick? Because they have Haggerty.
Bait, I guess.
Haggerty and left was just like a bit of a spark plug, man. Like that guy was just flying all over the field, and I think he got hurt though. But either way, it's like where I don't see where Kelnick is going to make sense, if he's going to make sense.
Trade bait, I would guess, because you're gonna get clogged out there.
This is awfully similar to like Clint Frazier vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Kelnick doesn't give me the impression that he's going to want to be a depth outfielder.
No.
Not getting that vibe from him.
I like that move though. Overall, that's an A+ move.
Oh yeah,
great job by the
Mariners. Absolutely. The Angels, staying in the American League West, the Angels making some additions, going out and get Tyler Anderson from their friends down the street.
The only thing that concerns me with that signing, didn't they have to give up a pick for that?
Did they? I don't know if I read that.
Yeah, I feel like they had to give up a pick because of the timing of it.
3-year, $39 million contract.
Yeah, the Angels
deal was
unfortunately did have to give up their second-round pick and $500,000 in international money.
Yeah.
Why
so
are you giving up a second-round pick?
The deal was struck hours before Tuesday's deadline for players to decide to accept the QO.
Is it because of that? The timing of it, right? Couldn't have waited 24 hours and done that?
Angels will now lose their second-round pick, and the Dodgers will gain a pick after the 4th round in next year's draft.
Strange. But that's where the Angels are at. Like, this is what they're in such rough shape pitching wise. So like, you had to. Curious to see what he's able to do. But like, he had a good year.
Look, I rag on the Angels a lot. That's well known. But
yeah.
I really like this move. Very, very low risk, high reward potential for this move.
How do you feel about the Gio Urshela trade? What does that tell us about Rendon?
That's immediately where my mind went to when I heard this. I was like, okay, so let's talk Anthony Rendon. I don't know, man.
Because like the Rendon wrist injury is more the hitting thing. It's nothing about defensive, and he's a plus defender at third.
He's a Gold Glover, I believe.
Yeah,
no?
yeah. I understand the Gio because like Philly Nevin being with New York, he fought to bring in Velasquez. He fought to now he's bringing in Gio Urshela, but yeah, it makes me wonder like what's the real scenario with Rendon?
I mean,
do you slide him over to first?
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but didn't Urshela have a quality year this year?
I think it was okay. I don't think it was great.
for his standards, I mean, not terrible.
I think he had a better year in 2021 with the Yankees than he did this year.
Well, I mean, it's hard to have any sort of year.
I'm pro Gio. I like Gio. I would rather have Gio than Josh Donaldson. That's for sure.
He had 285, 13 bombs.
Yeah, it's pretty good for Minnesota. It's pretty good being in
OPS 121. So not terrible.
Yeah. I like him. I think he's a bargain deal for sure. It's odd. It makes me wonder what's really going on with Rendon. Or we just because he can't go DH, right? That's locked down 4 out of the 5 days. Actually, all 5 days since he's Shohei's gonna be hitting for himself when he's pitching. So, what is Rendon doing? And Gio does not have the range to play shortstop, so it's like I don't get it. I don't get the need for him.
I mean the Tyler Anderson trade to me makes far more sense, and like I said, I'm certainly a fan of that move. But the Gio thing, it's very likely they see something we don't. Maybe they're anticipating some sort of future, or maybe they're preparing to make another couple transactions before we get things going here.
Oh, they got a lot more work to do for sure.
Well, I'm saying I was going to say at least on the infield side of things, but
yeah,
we shall see. But unless the Angels do something worth talking about, it's really hard for me to get excited about what really anything that they're doing out there. So
fraudulent.
The very fraudulent. The Anderson. That Anderson signing that moved the needle a little bit for me, but it's like you said, they have a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Last one we got here, I think for today, Cody Bellinger. He is now a free agent and looking. I think I read specifically for maybe a 1 to 2 year deal. I think 1 would be preferred, which makes sense. You go find yourself. You have a year. And then you get the bag.
I don't think he's in a position to be making any kind of demands. I got that alert and I was just like, bro, you're going to get what you get and you're going to like it. Okay. Like whoever decides to take a flyer on you, I think.
And that's what I'm saying.
I agree with you. It makes sense.
For the 1 year, like you can't make any demands coming into this year, but if you can reestablish yourself as the MVP caliber player that you are, I think then you kind of regain a little bit of that leverage because then people are going, okay, well maybe there was something in LA that was presenting itself as a mental block. I don't know what the story is with him there. It's hard to fathom. It doesn't make any sense.
It bugs me when guys refuse to change mechanically, and you see him in the box, and you're just like, he's so tall, and he has that stride to where like you can just imagine as he falls in, his head comes down, and then that stride brings us forward, so his head travels forward. So his head is moving so much pre-pitch that it's just like, at what point are we willing to just simplify that?
Yeah,
spread you out, get shortened, and I think the elimination of the shift will probably help him. I'm sure it'll help bounce back a little bit, but I did see a report that the Cubs were like, that was like their first priority, was going to get Bellinger, and this was before he got non-tendered. So I think that they knew what was happening. What were they? The Dodgers would have to give him what? 20? 19 mil? Something like that?
Yeah, I mean, they're shaving off, which then put them in the mix for Judge, if I read correctly.
So much money came off the books
shave
for them.
A lot of that off the books.
A lot of money came off. A lot of bullpen guys. Now Cody, yeah. I don't know.
Seems more feasible at this point.
It does seem feasible.
I would hate it.
I would too.
But and not even because of who it is, but just it's the Dodgers. Like we've talked about this at length. Just stop. Enough is enough. Yeah. Try to make do with what you have. You have plenty. Like
just
share the love a little bit.
Build some consistency at some point, please.
It's funny. I watched the kind of going off on a tangent here. I watched the Redeem Team documentary last night, and
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, it's about the 2008 U.S. Olympic basketball team.
Oh, okay.
Like with Kobe and LeBron and all them, and there were just countless points in that documentary where they were just talking about talent versus cohesion versus egos versus just general chemistry. And I could not help but think about the Dodgers. I'm like, this is exactly their problem. And they were talking in the doc about how they just couldn't figure out why they weren't able to win, because you have the best of the best. But they were talking about egos and how these guys would just come. They would come to these workouts and they would just want to be themselves. Like they would just want to be the guy.
It's LA, bro. LA does that to you. Look at the other sports teams. The Lakers are freaking miserable right now. The Rams look like a shell of themselves. And you're right. It's just like, I think after a certain amount of time being in LA, there's some ego that sets in with these players. It's different. You gotta have that cohesion. You gotta have the right voice in the clubhouse to stay grounded, remind everyone who they are, what they're there for. And eventually you're going to lose that a little bit in LA. And it's not like Freddie's been there long enough to be that voice.
Yeah, it's true. So yeah, I mean, LA is going to have to do something different, or else it's going to be the same thing year after year.
Yeah. Good luck, Cody Bellinger. Give me a prediction. Are you staying? I mean, I know the rumors are Cubs, but I don't know why. I don't know what the Cubs think that they're about to do.
I don't hate it. I don't hate the Cubs as a pick. I really don't.
Put him at first base. Go to San Diego. You fit in. You're still a California boy. I know you're from here. Cody's from Arizona. Paige went to high school with him, but he's definitely a California kid. That guy belongs there.
I like it.
I don't know. It's a stupid guess. I think Padres are going to get Jose Abreu from what I read today, but I don't know. Cody Bellinger, man, like just make some adjustments, bro. Like just be open to changing your mechanics and changing some things. And I do think he's young enough to where he could still fight back and become relevant again. But dude, I think I read something the other day that like since his MVP award, he's hit like 202.
Not good.
Not good enough.
Say what you will about batting average as a stat. That's not good. That's not good. Over that length of time, not good.
Yeah.
All right. Is it time for the draft? Draft number 2?
It is time.
No, it's not time for the draft. You know why?
Ad read. Ad read? I don't know.
Ad
You
read.
didn't say anything.
Well, you just need to know these things.
Ad read. Once a week now, so I got to pull it up because I'm not cool. Founded by former left-handed pitcher Rob Nelson, Big League Chew started from humble beginnings in the Portland Mavericks bullpen in 1977. For more than 40 years, the iconic pouches packed with shredded, flavorful bubblegum has become the number one shredded gum of athletes everywhere. Big League Chew has sold more than 900 million pouches and is designated as the Hall of Fame bubblegum. Grab some gum and head to Big League Chew's social media channels at Big League Chew on Twitter, at Big League Chew Gum on Instagram to show off your Big League bubbles. You can also find a list of retailers to purchase any of their products directly from their website at bigleaguechew.com. Big League Chew.
Ooh. It's all right. It's once a week.
Very
I'll give
average.
Cut
Very
you some
average.
slack.
Yeah.
All right.
Get the coin flip ready. This is what I'm saying. We got to have, I think from here on out, we got to poll our draft. Winner of that prior draft gets to be the first pick.
That's
in the
fair.
next one.
I like that. All right. Just like we did last time. Hey, Siri, flip a coin. I call heads. I didn't look. I promise.
All right.
You want me to call it again? Just for
No,
transparency's sake?
I trust you.
I'll call it again. I'm going to call again. I didn't look.
All right.
It's probably gone away by this point anyway. All right.
Just
I'm going to call it.
Are you in heads?
You called it last week?
Yeah.
I'll call it this week. Yeah, I'll call heads. Hey, Siri, flip a coin. There you go. Transparency.
All right. I like
So
it.
Nate's taking the first pick. This week, we've got
That was my drum
baseball
roll.
movies. Best baseball movies.
I like
Draft.
this. This was deeper than I thought it was going to be.
Very.
When I was looking through, I was like, you know what? I'm reminded of some names. I like where we're at here. First round pick.
Hold on. We need to preface this because I was going through my list. I was crafting my list and I said, you know what? I want to throw the objective lists out the window. Like, this is my draft. This is my movie list. I'm not trying to appease anybody here.
I'm drafting for quality. I'm drafting for recognition. But I understand what you're saying. I'm trying to put a good
You can do both.
roster together here.
You can accomplish both, but
You can.
also you don't
You
want to
can.
just throw out a movie that you've never seen just to say, well, look at my list.
Right. But I am doing this to, I know my order. I think I know where you stand on certain things, but I also know
it's
what's going to make the
changed.
people happy as well.
All right,
So-
first round pick. What do you got?
First round pick, easy one, Field of Dreams. Got to get that on the roster. Have to. I know that's your first pick, so
That was my
got to
first
get
pick.
there. Yeah.
All right, well, if you're going to steal mine, I'm going to go. This is going to upset some people. Actually, no. You know what? I may have to be strategic here because I have a feeling you're going to snag.
Okay.
I have a feeling you're going to snag here. So no, you know what? I'd be going against everything within me if I went that route. So you know what? I'm going to say Sandlot, number 1. That's just my, until probably a couple years ago, that was just my favorite movie of all time. And it's still one of my favorite, but
I get it. Now seeing it as an adult, you're just like, it's a good kids baseball movie. But
it's just a great movie.
I understand. I probably would have gone there if you didn't take that because I think that would have just gotten me a dub no matter what with the people. The Chasers would have given me a dub there immediately. Wouldn't even have mattered how the rest of the draft went.
Without a doubt. Who do you got number 2?
I feel like I'm going a little high with this one, but I am incorporating my love here. I'm going with The Rookie.
Let's go. Opens up the opportunity for me. Number 2. Well, let's talk about your number 2 here. Your number 2 pick here. Explain. The Rookie. You're going a little high.
That's a good movie. When we're
That's
talking
a fantastic movie.
That's a good movie. Like, just even outside of baseball, that's a good movie. But that gets you the feels. The reason I put it there is because, like, seeing it as a kid, you see it a certain way. Seeing it as an adult, you see it a certain way. So it's cool to see, like, it hits both crowds. I think that's what you got to have as a movie. So I knew it was a little high, but again, I'm putting my heart into this a little bit too.
Hey, there's no movie like The Rookie that gives me hope that I'll be able to play professional baseball at 40 years old. So
100%, yeah.
I mean, I still have
every time I see the speed trap thing on the side of the road, I'm like, all right, let's get the shoulder, let's get the wing loosened up a little bit. See if I got a baseball in the car. No, I've got
like a decade to go. So like,
yeah,
if any time over the next 10 years I change my mind about pursuing a professional baseball career, The Rookie tells me that I can do it.
I think a more realistic version of that movie would be just your shoulder just getting blown up after you try to
shreds, to absolute shreds.
Just done.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put myself back into this draft here, this race with my number 2 pick. I'm going Moneyball. I've said over the last probably year and a half, after having watched it a couple more times, Moneyball easy is like a top 3 movie.
It's a great movie. Just
a general list of baseball movies. It's easy top 3.
Some would argue it's not overly baseball-y. I have heard that a lot of things didn't happen, which gets me a little bummed.
Yeah, I mean the historical accuracy is lacking because there's no mention of Miguel Tejada. There's no mention of like some other names that it's like, okay,
you see Zito in there, but you don't really see him in there.
Yeah, what are we?
Who else was? Tim Hudson was with that squad, right?
The whole crew. Just completely left in the dark.
And Eric Chavez had like a heck of a year that year too. So I think that
But from a production standpoint, money.
Brad Pitt's that guy. So like, yeah, I get it. I understand. Jonah Hill I would love to hang out with him. So I understand. Definitely get it.
That is such a good movie. Fantastic.
2 is high though. Did you go 2 because you knew I was going there next, or?
No, I thought you were going there too, so I slid that up. I wanted to make sure I got that one in there because that puts me back in the race. If Sandlot is a controversial pick for number 1, if that rubs people the wrong way, Moneyball at 2 puts me back into the good graces.
I think I'm gonna skip this one because I think I can get it later. Number 3 pick. Oh, this one's tough. I feel like I'm reaching, but I don't want to reach. No, I'm not going to reach. I'm doing this. I like this movie. You don't. Bull Durham. It's good for the people. It's good for me.
Terrible movie.
I don't know why.
Bull Durham is just garbage. I don't understand. Why people love Bull Durham so much.
It's in there, man. It's in there.
Such a...
I feel good about this.
Terrible movie is a little bit of a stretch. I'll give you that, but it's not good. It's not.
I understand what you're saying. I hear your point of view.
I understand.
But the majority of people are going to disagree.
Exactly, and I understand that, and I understand the hate that's incoming. I'm here to absorb that, but my opinion, not a good movie.
All right.
Number 3, I'm gonna go Major League.
That's a fantastic pick. I'm actually really upset. Really upset. I thought I could get it later. I'm really bummed. There.
That's how I feel about The Rookie. I thought I'd be able to slide a little bit on that, but
yeah. Damn. Yeah. You're sitting pretty now.
I'm looking good.
Oof. Number 4, I'm going 42. Great. Another one. Great movie. Even for non-baseball fans, it's a great movie.
Some people, I would argue, would have it even higher than we have it. So
Yeah, I think some people would as well.
I think that's a steal. I think that's a steal at 4.
That's at the 4th round. Yeah, I feel good about that.
Number 4 for me. This may be the most controversial pick of the entire draft.
Whoa! All right, I think I know where you're going.
A League of Their Own at 4.
Wow, that is super controversial. That might have just given me the
that may have given you the draft, but as you felt last week with the Friar mascot pick at number 5, thinking that could have given you the draft, this very well could give me the draft. A League of Their Own is a fantastic movie. I don't understand what the hate is all about. Tom Hanks, like one of the greatest of all time.
When's the last time you saw it? Does it hold up? I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so I don't know how well it holds up.
It holds up. Like Tom Hanks makes that movie.
All right.
Gina Davis, Rosie O'Donnell, like that's a quality cast. Quality cast.
I don't know what to do for this one. I don't know if it's a my pick or a quality pick to get the dub.
I'm sitting the same predicament at number 5. I know exactly what you're picking between here. I have a similar predicament.
I'm going for the dub. I'm going for the dub. Give me the natural.
Okay. All right. All right. That's fair.
Yeah. It's not one of my favorites. I don't think it's top 5 for me, but
See, this is what I was trying to avoid. We're throwing up movies that we don't stand behind.
You got to get a quality roster put together. That's the point. You don't have to be a fan of the player. You just got to get a quality roster put together. I had 3 picks, 4 that I could put right there, though.
I just realized this movie's gone undrafted. I skipped all the way to the bottom of my list. This has gone undrafted. How did this make it to the bottom? Number 5, Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah.
How do you let Angels in the Outfield slide to 5?
That was in my 4 picks that I had for the 5th pick.
Angels in the Outfield coming in at 5, that secures it. It's game over.
You're very childish with your votes, but I understand what you're saying. This is a kid's ball game, so
I mean, a good movie is a good movie. I don't know what to tell you. A good movie is a good movie.
I don't know how well that one holds up either. I would have to see that again. I think it's going to be interesting to see how well that holds up.
We can't win because that would be a sin. Yeah. Come on, dude. That's a fantastic movie.
Do you have an honorable mention?
Honorable mention, I'd probably go, I mean, if we're going like, I'm letting bias play into it here. I would watch Fever Pitch every day for the rest of time. That movie
Jimmy Fallon is a character.
It's not even Jimmy Fallon as much. Drew Barrymore, one of my favorites.
She bugs me. I don't know what it is. I think it's the way she talks.
That's your problem.
She's a little lisp. She has a little lisp thing going on. It bugs me.
Drew Barrymore's a goat. I would say Fever Pitch, and I'd throw Bad News Bears on there.
The original one?
No.
Billy Bob.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton.
I wasn't a fan of either, to be honest with you.
I mean, we're talking like 6, 7 here on my list, so it's not. Well, no, it's even lower than that because you had most of my other picks. So we're talking like bottom of the barrel here. But honorable mention.
Honorable mention. My 5, my pick that would have gone into 5 is, and it's tough because it's like it's kind of a one of those borderline, like there's not a ton of baseball in it, but it's still good. For the Love of the Game. For Love of the Game is a good one where it's like good. And it had, I think what was cool about that, like you're seeing him in the actual ballparks and you're seeing like, you know what I mean? I think it was cool. They dogged on Yankees fans, which was like, it was a good movie. It's a good movie. Underrated. underrated one for my other honorable mention that I haven't seen for a while. Hardball.
Another good one.
Yeah. But that I couldn't put that at 5. You know what I mean? I think that's just,
It's understandable.
Yeah.
Also, just so it's on the record, and I'm going to get some flack for this, but I mean, I'm not just trying to name every baseball movie as my honorable mention here, but worth noting, and if you have a significant other who likes the rom-com aspect of it, Trouble with the Curve. You can dog it all you want, but you can't knock it until you try it. It's actually not a terrible movie.
My problem with Trouble with the Curve. I'm fine with the movie. It drives me crazy when you don't have actors in there that have played baseball.
Oh yeah, I will give you that. That's terrible.
Their fat, annoying #1 overall pick is not even playing college baseball. Like, you look at him and you're just like, you're not even good enough to go to a D3, my man. Like, and you're somehow being portrayed as a #1 overall pick.
Yeah,
get out of here.
I'll give you that.
Get out of here. So that's the part that bugs me. But good movie. Clint Eastwood is the man. I mean, yeah.
But if you think about it, though, like, more sports movies than not are going to have an element of that. It's just a matter of to what degree. Because, and to your credit, I'll give you that. It's pretty bad in that movie. But most sports movies, especially baseball, with a sport that's so skill based, it's going to be hard to put together a cast of people that are like competent.
Yeah. Very, very, very true. That's a good
But the
pick.
movie itself, don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I feel pretty good.
Let's recap here. #1, you went Field of Dreams. I went Sandlot. And then you went The Rookie. #2. And then for #2 for me, I went Moneyball. #3, you went
Bull Durham.
Bull Durham, that's right. #3, I went Major League. #4.
That's I think that might have gotten you the dub, honestly. And I'm an idiot. I didn't even write down Major League. I don't even have it on the list.
Major League.
I have no idea how I would have gone 2 with that if I would have written it down. I overlooked it.
I mean, you could put Major League 1 or 2. I mean, it's all good to me. It's all good. 4, you went
42.
42. 4 for me, I went
Angels in the Outfield?
No, League of Their Own 4.
League of Their Own.
And then 5,
I went The Natural just to get some votes.
And then I went Angels in the Outfield. It's going to be good.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you, sir. That's all I got. We'll see you guys next week. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Nate would say kick back, get fat watching baseball, but there's no baseball, so just kick back and get fat, you know?
Kick back, get fat, take a nap, do it again. Rinse, repeat. That's it. Don't go chasing curveballs.
We love you all, and as always, looking forward to talking more baseball with you guys soon. Until next time, stay filthy.